Michigan Magazine has for nearly a full decade discovered countless stories to tell and unique places to visit. Our state is truly a wonderland and a treasure trove of yet untold stories. This is what keeps Dell and I on the road. We're not unique or first with this idea that Michigan is a wonderful place to live or visit. Michigan television personalities from various parts of the state have been presenting their own local versions of Michigan's uniqueness for decades. Early personalities such as the late MORT NEFF or Howard Shelley of a show called Michigan Outdoors began bringing into our living rooms glimpses of what was right out our own back door. Those early programs in the late 40s or early 50s were seen by thousands each week via a small statewide network and served to inspire others to explore their own backyard. The early Michigan Outdoors is still being perpetuated by Bob Garner and crew, who co-hosts the new MUCC Michigan Out of Doors shows. Michigan Magazine has visited with each of these television personalities and have found one thought common among them all. They all believe they would never, ever run out of new and exciting stories to tell about Michigan and her people on their programs. Our thoughts about the stories Michigan has yet to reveal was triggered by a recent segment we were working on in the Burt, Michigan area at a restaurant called Gracie's. Here we crossed paths with Dick Fabian of WNAM Channel 5 television, who was also doing a segment about the fine food at Gracie's for his daily show called Take 5. Between takes, we began talking about his career in television and the amazing diversity of Michigan.
Barry, this is my 42nd year in broadcasting. And during that 42 years, I've covered Michigan, and I still haven't covered enough. I think we have one of the most beautiful states in the world. I really do. It's just a gorgeous place. The North Country is got its own special kind of beauty. And then you get down into the southern area of Michigan, especially the southwest side of the state, the rolling hills. There's so much, and you guys do such a beautiful job. I wish I had as much time to talk about the little things that I do as you do on Michigan.
Well, you've got a daily thing now, of course,
right,
that you do. But you also were involved with PM Magazine a few years back, and that was a little different situation, wasn't it?
PM Magazine really was very much like Michigan Magazine, where we did a lot of traveling, and when we would go to a place like we are here at Gracie's and Burt, we would maybe do a show that lasted 7 or 8 or 9 minutes on a specific subject. Now that I'm in commercial broadcasting with the sort of horse race journalism type of mentality, we can only devote like maybe 1 minute and 30 seconds on the very same subject. So, but then I always tell folks like Hugh and Gracie here that McDonald's sells billions of burgers in 28 seconds.
That's exactly right. So today you're shooting here at Gracie's, and when will this be aired? The same day?
This will be on this afternoon.
So you're going to be rushing back to the studio and doing some editing work and getting the script ready?
Gary Linkowski and I get out in the morning and do these kind of shoots, as we call them, and then we're back by about 1:30, and then by about 3 or 3:30 it's been edited, written, and it's in the can, and it's ready for our Take 5 show.
A little more pressure, a little more time is the essence type of situation, isn't it?
Right. The importance of the show is, and your show too, is that we are dealing with people. And in any state, whether it's Michigan or out west or wherever, people are the most important part of their state, and they're the most interesting subjects in the world, and it's kind of fun to invade their lives just a little bit and learn a little bit about them and what has made them successful or unique in any special way. I think that's the beauty of this job.
And there's so many stories in each little community or burg. I mean, if you just head into that community with a camera and go to the post office or to the coffee shop and say, what is interesting or who is fascinating in your community, you'll find a story there, no matter where you go.
Absolutely.
Covering Michigan's people is a wonderful occupation. That thought brought me back to the time Del and I had the opportunity to visit with Mr. Michigan Outdoors himself, MORT NEFF, at his Harbor Springs home a few months before he passed away in August of 1990. Mort, considered a pioneer in the art of spotlighting Michigan, told us that he still was recognized on the streets by those who grew up watching him in those very early days of broadcasting.
Those were wonderful days. Wonderful days. Today, Del, wherever I go, I can't believe the memory of people in this state. Now, look here. I've been off the air for 14 years. 14 years. And you walk down the street today, everybody remembers. Sure. How do they do it? Right. I can't imagine how they do it. Michigan is the magic word. Don't ever forget that. It's Michigan, and we reveled in that, and we really covered the waterfront. The first thing we did when we started that show is look for men like Howard Shelley, and it didn't take me long to find Howard. Then we picked up Dick Black, and we had George Pfeiffer working for us, and we had a lot of people who volunteered. They weren't on the payroll, they just volunteered. They wanted to help make Michigan Outdoors a good show.
It was a love.
And we never ran out of material. I love the state. I wouldn't want to be in there. I was born here, brought up here. I was born in Birmingham.
Birmingham?
Yeah. My grandfather was a great outdoorsman, so was my father, and it came with the blood, you know. And so they brought me up, and I just relished every minute I could spend outdoors. So that's the way it all started. My grandfather was a Civil War veteran, and despite the fact that he lost an arm in the Civil War, he could throw a spear at a pike more accurately than anybody you ever saw. Oh my, he's a great guy, great guy. I have fond memories. I have fond memories, Del, of the entire, nearly a quarter of a century that we spent producing Michigan Outdoors. It was a rewarding experience, and I'll tell you, without the great help that I had in the show, the staff that I had working for me, I couldn't have done it. It came along at a great time.
And that time was a time when everyone was hungry for the great outdoors and stories of Michigan people, an appetite we found to be never-ending. Mort's friend and co-host, Mr. Outdoorsman Howard Shelley, is another case in point of loving what you do. Howard, not originally from Michigan, was caught up in the excitement of the Great Lakes state and ended up making a living off what he loved best.
Born and raised on a farm in Ohio. My dad was a hunter, and I followed his footsteps a whole lot. And coming to Michigan, we all know how interested people are in hunting and fishing in the outdoors in this great state. And in the early 40s, Ruth and I were married in '39, of course, celebrated our 50th last year. And hunting and fishing actually was a hobby, so I made a business of it.
And a very good one.
That's what the culmination of it.
Yeah.
I made a business of my hobby.
Just a love of labor.
Writing and managing the Oakland County Sportsman's Club and appearing before various conservation groups. I was active in MUCC in the old days, and as well as the DNR. So then in '52, I knew absolutely nothing about photography, but we acquired that first movie camera, a Bolex, and as a good Swedish friend of mine used to say, he said, "What in the name of heck are you going to do with that camera?" Well, I didn't know at that time, but I made good use of it.
Oh, I guess.
Trial and error method, and first lecture film was made in '52, and it was on television the following year, and that's the beginning of it.
That was the beginning of it.
The beginning of something that never seemed to end for Howard. Like MORT NEFF, after they left Michigan Outdoors, their interest never wavered in what Michigan had to offer. Howard continues to be in contact with the new MUCC's Michigan Out of Doors with Bob Garner and Company. We've also visited with Bob about the uniqueness of covering Michigan. Our paths have also crossed on occasion, and we continuously find our visit ending with our favorite question we ask each other, and that being, where are you off to next?
A couple of Upper Peninsula trips. We'll try to do a little bit more open water fishing that people don't normally think of during the wintertime in Michigan. Obviously, there'll be tons of ice fishing, rabbit hunting, festivals. You'll be able to catch us all over the state. Wouldn't have it any other way. You know, I really wouldn't. There's a whole lot of travel time goes into this, but this state is so vast, and you really don't realize it till you try and cover it. You guys know. You guys know. The one thing that I always liked about the old Michigan Outdoors show was if I went by a Leonard station or I went by a place they had been, I'd say, "Oh, I saw that on TV." Yeah. And you have a great show too. Well, thank you, I want to tell you that, and we watch very, very often. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Well, there is certainly no doubt Del and I will continue to try and do just that. The bottom line is, like all those that have appeared here today, it truly is a labor of love. Of course, it's you, our viewers, that make the difference. It is you we're interested in. If you know of any interesting people, places, or events, let us know. Your cards and letters are what continues to fill our well of subjects that'll never run dry. Thanks again to all those that shared their thoughts with us today on Michigan Magazine. Dick Fabian, the late MORT NEFF, Howard Shelley, and Bob Garner. And a big thank you to all of you, our viewers, who hopefully will continue to follow us where we go each week on your local public television station.